Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. It's Thursday, January 30th. Can you believe January is going to be over tomorrow? That's crazy. And then let's look at this heat map. It just changed over. Microsoft is red. Nvidia's down a hair. Google, Meta, Tesla are all up. And Amazon and Apple are a little bit flat. So we'll go through them bad boys and see what's going on with them. Let's take a look and see what's happening with our Jolie's jumpers this morning and see what's moving. Let me just hop in here. I know they're right here. So here we go. Only a couple there. ATHE. Here we go. Let's look at that ATHE and see what it's doing. Wasn't that one running way up in the after hours, I believe? And let's look at it. It did run way up in the after hours, 485 to 749 this morning. It's still moving around. 660 to 694 came down to 585. Would it close out yesterday? 680. So there you go. It definitely is lower than it closed, but it did gap up there yesterday. It ran way up there in the after hours. BNZI, let's look at this one. This one was running up yesterday and ran up some more this morning, it looks like. And it sure did run up yesterday and today. 133 to 225 yesterday, and today 220 to 271. It's at 268 and looking pretty good. So keep an eye on that BNZI right there, and CARM Charisma Therapeutics. This one's up 2 cents right here. CARM. And let's take a look. It did run yesterday from 50 to 85, and this morning 67, and it came down to 53. So yesterday it looks like it did top out there, and we'll see if it can run back up. And DGNX, let's look at that bad boy. DGNX, this is a brand new one that's ran up there really good yesterday. I mean, I don't know if it's going to run up some more, but DGNX, it did run up today, 55.94. It gapped up. It had to have. Yeah, 46.41 is what it closed at. It went from 14.42 to 53 yesterday. And then it opened at 55 and came down to 43 today. And it's at 49 right now. But yeah, DGNX, that's a new one that gapped up there yesterday. And good old Holo, that was pulled back a little bit. We had gone through it, and it is trying to set up here. We're going to keep an eye on it and see if it can set up. Like I said, some of these China ones just fell apart. They looked great for like 2 days, and then that was a wrap. So we'll have to see what's going on with them. And KR 36 KR Holdings right here. This one, I'm not even familiar with this one, but it did run yesterday, 443 to 1229, and it opened at 860 and came down to 779. It's at 782. So it did have a nice run yesterday. KR. And MGOL, this one was cruising around this morning, and we've been looking at this one. It was on the list right here, MGOL, and it is rolling off that MACD, I think, 13 to 14 today, and it is looking pretty good. It's still at that 13, but not looking bad. MGOL. NAOV, let's see, NAOV, Nano Vibronix or something like that. And it did cross through. It just popped up there. It looks like they might have had some kind of news, I would have to assume. Um, it ran up yesterday 39 to 50, and then this morning it went from 54 to 76. It's at 63. It's looking pretty good right there. And no news that I see, but it does look good that NAOV and PSCA. Let's see. This one was up 13 cents and gapped up there. PCSA. And it ran up yesterday. I think it was up in the after hours there, 59 to 93. And then this morning, 72 to 78. It's at 72 where it opened at, and not looking bad for PCSA and SES. This one we were keeping an eye on. It had run up recently, and then it pulled back down there, and it's just trying to set up here. Let's see. It is moving this morning, 103 to 106. It's at 104, and it is getting set up, so we'll keep an eye on that. SES and SGN went nutty yesterday. It had a signing day sports or whatever it is. Something like that. Signing day sports. And it did run big yesterday. We were looking at it, and what did I just type in? I just typed in genius somehow. SGN, what is going on? SGN, here we go. And yesterday, remember, it ran 203 to 724, and it closed at 448. Well, today it opened at 420, and it's down to 398. So There you go at SGN, but did have a beautiful run yesterday. Could be just pulling back and hit that top area, and we'll have to see. SLXN was a multi-day runner too, and I think this one might have to pull back a little bit, but it did run pretty good. Really good actually the last 2 days. Yesterday went 173 to 345, and this morning it's at 214 right now. It opened at 223 and came down. That's your SLXN, and did have a multi-day runner, which you don't see very often anymore. So that was a really good one right there. SPGC, Sax Parente Golf. Remember we were looking at this thing? It did pop up pretty nice there this morning, I'll tell you that. We were definitely looking at this before SPGC, I remember. And it ran up the last few days, as a matter of fact. Yesterday went 44 to 77, and today 63 to 89. So we were definitely a few weeks early on that one. And there you go for SPGC and XFOR is X4 Pharmaceuticals. I know we've looked at it before, XFOR, and it popped up yesterday 50 to 94, and then this morning 90 to 111, and it's at 79. So it did pull back there. It looks like it hit that resistance and kind of topped out for that run. So there you go with your Jolie's jumpers. Thank you very much, Asian Jolie. Greatly appreciate them. And let's go right into our well, let me see real quick if I can find the laptop lowdowns. I thought here they are. We'll jump right into them and see what they're up to. The market's looking pretty decent. Microsoft looks down, but I'm just looking at the heat map and it looks pretty good. Nvidia's down a little bit, and everything else looks pretty decent right there. We'll go through these bad boys and see what they're looking like. BACK, that back. This one, remember, we were looking at, had that really nice dip. It's trying to get set up here. It did run up the next day, and then now it's trying to set back up. So check that one out to go back up. BCG is Bin Capital. We looked at this one before, and it took a nice dip down. BCG. Oh, that was a nice dip yesterday, huh? 272 down to 197, and that's where it's at. So we might have to keep an eye on that one again. FBYD. FBYD is Falcons Beyond Global, and that's way down there too. FBYD. And yeah, that one's going to get set up for maybe next week. A good one to look at. HYZN. That's at Heisen Motors, an auto part company in American. That's been dipping down. We were looking at it just the other day, and it was pulling back here. And yesterday looks like it could be its bottom there, 42 cents. So keep an eye on it. It's at 57, and that's HYZN. That could get moving back on up. ICON, that Icon Energy we've been looking at, took a really nice dip here. ICON. And it is just getting set up. We'll keep an eye on it. 41 to 38. And that is today's date. So, yeah, it's just pulled back a little bit right there. And that's ICON and IZM. This one is just pulled back in the basement. This is a beautiful laptop travel lowdown right here, IZM. So, yeah, I like that one. Pulled back and 134 down to 120 is that yesterday, it looks like. And it's not opened up yet today, but a good pullback again. So we're keeping an eye on it. This one's a great pullback too, RTC. It was running around yesterday here, and I think it could be trying to bottom out. This one, 104 to 163, and its bottom was its low was 80 and closed at 90. So keep an eye on this thing, that RTC. And we'll see if that one wants to curl up. It was looking pretty good. SGLY is, ooh, that's a nice dip right there. That went from all the way to the top, like most of them do, and come back down to the bottom, and it will get set back up. So, yeah, it was at the top back there on January 26th. Now it's all the way down here on the 29th, and it's at 103. So that's SGLY. And let's take a look at STSS. This had that really nice dip, and we were looking for it to try to bounce, and it didn't want to bounce, which was fine. So now we're just looking for it to when it wants to get set up and move back up. So it may take a few days. We'll keep an eye on STSS and see when that one wants to run. And good old TRNS. Here we go with Transcat. And this is a nice dip. They had earnings, the other day on the 27th, and a huge dip. Their earnings, I guess, didn't even look bad, but I never know. It just had a green E. and it did take a huge dip yesterday, 85.95 to 73.37, and it's at 73.50. So quite a big dip on Transcat. We'll have to look at that. Good old Transcat and WLDS. Let's see that one. Wearable devices. I remember looking at this and it popped up. It's an Israeli consumer electronics company, WLDS, and let's see what they're up to. And it could be trying to bottom out there yesterday. It took a nice dip down there, and it went from what, $1 to 83, and it's at 94. So we'll see if that's its bottom right there. And good old Z Car. Let's see what that's up to here. Zoom Car Holdings, excuse me, is setting up in the right spot as long as they don't have an offering or anything crazy. So they have a stockholder meeting on February 18th. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it is setting up in a good spot right here, ZCAR. So we'll keep an eye on that one and see what it wants to do. And there you go with your laptop lowdowns. And let's look at our heat map. Microsoft's down, NVIDIA's down a hair. Google, Meta, and Tesla are all up. Apple and Amazon are flat. Let's take a look at them and see what the SPY is up to. It's up $1.72, and it's just kind of curling. It's a little flat, but trying to curl up. Like I said, it could have some pullback. Let me see what it says here. 604, 81 up to 604.90, and it's at 603.13. That's what mine says. This one says 603.53, and looks like it could be pulling back. Like I said, it looks like it could be pulling back a little bit today. So I would keep an eye on it, and we'll see if it's going to open up a little bit red. Let's roll through and see what the other ones look like real quick. Good old Apple AAPL down. That's down 64 cents. Not looking terrible. It's crossed through. And remember, our earnings seasons right now. They have earnings today. So Apple has earnings today. Amazon. Let's see what that's doing real quick. AMZN. Let's see here. I'm just going to look at Apple. Yeah, Apple's a little bit pulled back there. AMZN's a little bit pulled back too. Not getting through that resistance down 12 cents. So we'll keep an eye on that. Looks like it's just going to be kind of a setup period right here. Good old Google. Let's see what it's doing. It's up $1.90 and trying to curl up. I don't know if it is going to get through that MACD right there, though. We'll have to take a look at Google. I'm not so sure. It could be just jumped up today, this morning, I mean, and we'll take a look at it. Meta's up 836, and I'm telling you, this thing's insane going into its earnings right there. So good old Meta and Zucky has all kinds of stuff going on. But be careful up here because it's at 699, almost $700 now. Remember, it was like 600 not long ago, and we said it was going to jump up, and it sure did. And that was back on like January 14th. So it did go flying, Meta. And that's META. And Microsoft, MSFT. This one pulled back pretty good. It's down 17.94. And they have earnings yesterday. It looked like it was green and it came down. So I guess I don't even understand. But that was what Microsoft did, and we'll take a look at it today and see if it wants to get set back up and run. It's at what, 424.33, and it looked like it crossed through coming down, so it was looking much better before. And that is MSFT, Microsoft, and good old NVIDIA, NVDA. That's down 33 cents, and it's just hanging out down here and just at the bottom. So yeah, NVIDIA is hanging out and just trying to get set up. It's not ready. After that DeepSeek, whatever it was called, knocked it out. It still has to set up down here. So that is NVIDIA right there. And good old Tesla, that was up $7. It had earnings yesterday. I don't think it beat its earnings, but it is getting set up now, guys. So, like I said, take a look at it after its earnings, and it's looking much better. It's at 396, 396 exactly. It opened at 404, so it is down. So we're going to watch for a little pullback, like I was saying, but it is getting set up. I think next week this thing's going to get rolling, guys. So we're going to keep an eye on Tesla. I don't even know how it's up this small. It says it's up here $6, but I'm not so sure it is. What did it close at yesterday? 405, and it's at 399. I don't think it's up right now. I think it's down. So I'm not sure what they're talking about on FinViz, but it does look like it's setting up, and just watch for a little pullback there on Tesla, and we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at some of these other ones real quick. AMC, let me know if you guys want to look at anything also, and I'll take a look at that. And let me see what else is going on. CLS right there. I'll take a look at these AMCs and these other ones. AMC's just sitting there, but I'm telling you, that one's getting set up really good. That Unity's up 14 cents, and the Chewy is up 6 cents, and I'm telling you, that one looks amazing. And GameStop's up 22 cents and just kind of crawling up there, so not looking bad. AVGO, let's just look at these ones real quick. That's up 977, and they are going to get set back up finally, so that looks much better. MU's up $1.49, and it's going to get curled up, so that's looking a little bit better. And TSM's up $2.18, and so all these bad boys that got knocked down Monday are trying to look a little bit better. Like I said, we knew that they were going to have to take a few days to set back up. They weren't just going to keep bouncing back. So SMCI is up 31 cents right there, and not looking bad at 28.11. It's trying to curl up as well, and that is SMCI. And AMD is up 86 cents this morning and looking pretty good. Like I said, they have earnings coming up, and it was set up. It looked like it wanted to roll off that MACD and run. So we'll have to see. It is up 118.30 is where it opens, and it's at 118.20, so it might even be down 10 cents. I'm not exactly sure what it closed at yesterday. I forget. Yesterday it closed at 117.70, so it is up a little bit, but it ran up a little bit higher. We'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, it is trying to get set up right here and see if it rolls off that MACD. It's looking really good, AMD, so keep your eye on that. And QCOM, let's see what QCOM's doing. That's up $1.41, and that's still curling up there and not looking bad. And what else do we have? Intel, that's what we have. And that's down 5 cents. And like I said, they had earnings. Was that today? Yeah, they have earnings today. And that chart looked way better the other day. And now it's kind of has to set back up. Good old Snow is down a little bit, but that's going to set right back up. And MicroStrategy, what's that doing? That's up 245, and that's looking a little better. Not curled up yet, but the Bitcoin looks way better. And Coinbase, that's up $1.85 and looking much better. So keep an eye on Coinbase. That one looks like it wants to curl up there and looking pretty good. What's DJT doing this morning? It's down 24 cents. And Fun was getting set up. It's just sitting there. So keep an eye on that Fun, PHUN, because it's looking pretty good right there. And there you go with some of them bad boys. And let's take a look at our cryptocurrency and see what crypto's up to this morning. Like I said, Bitcoin's at 105. It is moving, looking good. Ethereum's back to 3,200. It's at 3,212. Ripple's at 309. And Solana's at 240. So Doge is at 33. And then we have our chain link at 24.29. Let me go ahead and look into the app real quick and see how they look, and then we'll look at our ETF 500. I knew it was going to pull back. I was saying that. I thought it was going to stay right around that too. It dipped down a little bit lower, nothing crazy, and I think it's going to base out here, and then you're going to see its next legs up. So we'll see what it looks like in a second. Let's take a look at the other crypto real quick and see what they're up to. Like I said, Bitcoin's at 105,000, and it is looking good this morning, guys. So we were looking at it last night. It was looking pretty good, and it is trying to curl back up. Yeah, it looks like it's going to curl right up and try to run next leg. So that's really good to see right there, and that should keep on moving. Ethereum's at 3,200, like I was saying, and again, Ethereum's not going to do what it did last time, so it's not really the big coin anymore. It did a massive run last time. It got up there and really cruised, and right now Solana's going to be that coin. I told you guys this way before, and Solana's at 240. And that thing is going to get curled back up. Let me see. Yeah, it's going to try to curl back up. It's not doing it yet, but it will. and it's going to get rolling right back up there and start cruising. So it made like a pretty nice base right down here, and that's way above that 200 area, obviously at 240. So yeah, you got your base in around like 220, 230, 240 right here, and it can just keep on cruising up there. Cardano's at 95, and let's take a look at it, and it has to get up over that 50 right there. It's just below it where it could push it down. If it's all really green and it's moving today, it should push itself up there and really look better. So that's ADA in Cardano. We'll just make sure it gets over there. And Doge, let's look at that one. And that's at 33. And let's see what it's doing. And that one was under that 52. And yeah, it's got to make its way up to that 50. It's curling down right now, so we'll see if it can keep that momentum and get back over that 50. If it does it, it'll start to move. If not, it's going to get pushed down. So it has a couple days where it could jump around and get pushed down right there. Chainlink's at 24.25. Let's see what it looks like real quick. And Chainlink looks good. It's bouncing off that 50 and looking pretty good right there. And let's take a look at Bonk real quick and see what that one's doing. BONK, because this one was like right at the bottom and trying to get back up over to 200, and it should. Yeah, it's trying to curl back up. It was all the way down at that 30, so it's bouncing back off, and it's got to get through to 200. But then the 50 is going to meet the 200, and then Bonk could really fly up there. So we'll keep an eye on Bonk. It could be a good runner. And there you go with BONK, and there you go with your crypto report. And let me take a look at that ETF 500 real quick and see what it's doing here. It is at 0.018 right now. And yeah, I think down here, I think it's starting. This is where it's going to build the base. I thought it was going to pull back a little bit more today. So I was telling my buddy that same thing. It's probably going to pull back to that 2 cent area. It pulled back just under there. I think this is where you're going to get your base for your next leg up. And then I think we're going to start to see that 4 and 6 cent area after it bases out here and makes that curl. I mean, you had like 5 or 6 straight green run up days, so you know it's going to pull back. I was expecting it, and it did exactly that. And here we go. It'll base out right here. This is where you wanted to see it base out and then move back up. So I do think it looks pretty solid right there to get moving. I'll keep my eye on it and keep you guys updated today. But this is what I was looking at before. Try to make a base right around this 2 cent area, and then yeah, it'll get curled right up and it'll get moving to the next stage. So that's what that looks like, ETF 500, and it looks like a little bit of pullback to me, just like we would think. So good morning, Green Thumbs. How are you today? And CLS, let's look at that, Luis Rodriguez, and see what it's doing this morning. CLS, that is Celestia or something. And it is up 1278 and is curling up right there, CLS. So, yeah, not looking too bad. A little flat here, 115. And then what the heck even happened here? January 30th. What is going on? This says it's at 113. What a close at yesterday. This is weird. It must have gapped up yesterday, huh? Um, that's what it looks like to me because this one says that it closed at 100 and it was at 97 yesterday, and mine says it closed at 114. So it did gap up there in the after hours, and then today it opened at 115 and it's at 113 right now. So it did run up there. It was just running up after yesterday, CLS, and there you go. And let's take a look and see. That's at ETF 500. We did look at that one and a couple of them laptop travel ones we had looked at already, and they were moving around there. Let me take a look and see what else is going on the scanners and all, and see what we're getting into today. And like I said, it's more of like a setup kind of period after that big dip on Monday, and that's perfectly fine because there's other ones running. That MGOL is up 30%. We were looking at it, and NAOV we looked at. We looked at a bunch of these bad boys. RIME just like I said, just kind of curling up, But as it curls up, it's been pulling back there. So it's about to hit that line. It could be, we'll see if RIME's bottoming out today and then it'll get moving. That ATHE did move. And Clue, this one's a big dip right there. Remember, we were looking at CLEU and it had run way up there. And I said, I think it topped out. I think I was probably really on the money right there because do you know what it did today or yesterday? What was it? It was today. It went from that 751 down to 110. Someone shorted the hell out of that bad boy and made a fortune. So there you go with CLEU. And I was saying it looked topped out yesterday, and it definitely was. So there you go with that. TNXP, that one had run up really well. We'll see if it wants to get set up. How about BHAT, everybody? Let's look at it. It's up a little bit this morning, and it is looking much better on that bottom down here. We'll see if it wants to curl up. It actually looks like it's in them spot now where it could run. It was in there the other day before they got the delisting notice. So now it's back in that spot where it wants to bounce off, and it's at that 4 cents. And yesterday was probably its bottom. It got down to like three and a half. So BHAT, we'll keep an eye on that and see if it can get moving now after all that craziness. And Nokia is up there, 477, looking pretty good right there, Nokia. And let's take a look. Let's see this Nokia real quick. NOK did jump up there on some earnings, so not looking bad for Nokia. And let's look at anything else going on. Let me look at the volume side. Like I said, it's just a little, excuse me, it's just a little bit flat. Not a whole lot going on. CARM we looked at was moving up there. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot going on here. And let me know if you guys want to see anything. I'll check out this stock twits real quick. Just kind of a slower week with after that DeepSeek on Monday. But I think things are going to get set up and some great opportunities as always. So we'll take a look at Tesla's up a little bit. ASTS, what's that one doing here? ASTS. That's at ASTS, Space Mobile, and it took a nice dip. I would look at this to get moving again. I don't know why it dipped yesterday, but it could have been its bottom. And today it's 1883. It did pull back a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on that one. Not looking too bad. And Meta went crazy. How about American Airlines? How about that airplane crash? I forgot about that until I just saw that. Holy cow, that was crazy. How the hell does that helicopter, a military helicopter, go flying straight into an airplane, a civilian airplane like that? That was bizarre. I know Trump was saying the same thing, but holy cow, that was the most insane thing you ever see. I mean, what the hell was going on with that? And yeah, we need to find out. And yeah, people, oh man, what a crazy situation right there. I can't even imagine. So, American Airlines is down a little bit. I would think it would be down a lot more, to be honest with you. But yeah, it is down after that plane crash yesterday. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep an eye on that plane crash, and hopefully everybody's okay. I didn't even look to see what was going on this morning. I honestly forgot about it until I just saw American Airlines on here. And how about UPS? It was up the other day, and it looked like it pulled back big time on earnings. Holy cow, it went way down there. So I guess they got beat up on their earnings. That's why I don't play these earnings, guys. It was up at the top and it went from 136 to 115. So that one got beat up on earnings right there and it's way down. So there you go with UPS not looking that great. And that Clue got shorted down, like I said. And CRGX, let's see what that's doing here. CRGX. Cargo Therapeutics is a big dip too. Holy cow, what is going on with all these big old dippers? CRGX. What a dip yesterday. That one went from 1450 down to 288. I don't know what happened there, but that one took a nice dip. To discontinue Fierce One Phase 2 study of something. So they were discontinuing some study that they're doing, and that made that thing just go down astronomically. So we'll have to keep an eye on the CRGX. And what else? MYNZ. What's going on with this one? This one actually looks like it's up. I'm telling you, there's not many that are really moving this morning. MYNZ trying to move a little bit. It's not doing anything too crazy. It's in that channel. And good old Wolf, we'll look at both of them. WOLF, this one is down 7 cents. It was trying to get set up yesterday. Just let it get set up here, and we'll look at it to see exactly when it wants to curl up. Like I was saying, these things are just in a setup period here where they really need to run around. And even TerraWolf, WULF, that's setting up as well. So everything is trying to set up, and it just got blown apart from that Monday, whatever it was called, DeepSeek. And now, Service now, this is way down too. This dropped down over $100. So nice pull back there. And yeah, Microsoft's down, Nvidia and Apple are both down. It looks like Google, Meta, and Tesla are up. Amazon's a little bit flat, and that's what they look like. And most of the market's kind of green, but it's not really doing a whole lot. It says S&P 500 futures rise after Meta platforms and Tesla report earnings. U.S. futures climb as traders await Apple results. Morning bid mega caps mix as Fed pauses, ECB cut, and GDP up next. And Powell holds interest rates and his ground. And let's see, futures gain ahead of GDP reports. So that's coming out as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And that Starbucks, Kramer said for everyone to buy it. It did go up yesterday, but it hit that top. I'd be careful. It looks like it's going to be pulling back relatively soon. So be careful there. And there you go, everybody. I would say that's a pretty solid pre-market on a Thursday. Not a whole lot going on, I'm not going to lie. And you have these days, not every day can be a crazy, crazy popping day. So we'll see what the Fed has to say or whoever's talking today, the interest rates or the GDP or whatever reports coming out. Not sure what time that is. We'll have to take a look at it. And I'll be monitoring the market and seeing what's going on. So I'll keep an eye on it. IBM, remember we said that was setting up. That was up like $20. It's up $18 this morning off of earnings. So that one had looked good and it did run up there. So it did that. And there you go, everybody. I think that's a pretty solid pre-market. I greatly appreciate everybody hanging out and tuning in and sending over stock tickers. We might go back tonight and look at everybody's, but I just wanted to check out the scanners. I'll get them all organized for next week, and we'll get the night show really zeroed in on finding all the poppers and exactly what's moving. So let me know what you guys thought about that last night, and we'll get that, like I said, a little bit better, I think, and really focused on what's exactly popping. So we'll try to do that. And there you go, a pre-market. Let me know if you guys want to see anything today. You know, I'll be checking out things and updating it. I'm just doing some behind the scenes stuff, getting things ready. So if I'm not posting as much, I'm still looking at the market, I promise you. And there you go. So yeah, if you want to see anything, just shoot it over and I'll be looking at it. So make sure you trade smart and lock in those profits. Doesn't look too bad today. So we'll see how it rolls out. Let me just look at that SPY real quick before we leave. And it is up 72 cents. And what's it trying to do here? Let me look on mine and see exactly. Yeah, I'm not convinced it wants to go up today. So maybe seeing a little bit of pullback there. And it is getting set up, it looks like, for either next week, probably. So next week's looking a lot better after it got smashed down from that DeepSeek this week. And it was just a setup period. So you caught some great opportunities down here. And that's what we're always looking for. So there you go, everybody. A great pre-market right there. And I'll keep you guys posted. So yeah, trade smart, lock in those profits. Goodbye. Good luck. I'll see you later. And have a great day, everybody. And thank you for tuning in.